In 1975, Danish jazz rock band Buki-Yamaz released their self-titled debut album on Hook Farm, and from it, the track Brazilian Grass. Cute little flute in the wind tunnel theme, sort of like Bore at high speed, and I like the drums. They feel, I guess, brushes on snare. Okay, and that flute work is by Aske Bentzon, who, let's see, half-brother of Casper Winding, quite a presence on the Danish scene right there, and he's played on, he played, let's see, on this 1976 Christine Sievert record, Entrada to Equator, and he's played on a bunch of other Danish albums in addition to the band that we're hearing now. Okay, and the brush drums that you're hearing are by Ethan Weisgard, who would subsequently play in Cox Orange. Yeah, and before this he had played on the first two albums by Dr. Dobo Jam. And that cocktail guitar that you were just hearing by Kim Sagild, who is also involved with Casper Winding. Yeah. Am I hearing it there? Because there are a lot of people credited on this, but I'm basically hearing bass, I'm hearing drums, I'm hearing the guitar really in a restrained role here, playing some kind of like wah-wah-y type of strings there, and the flute. Yeah, I'm hearing four people all right, but it's strange how Discogs lists, like a fifth credit, they list soloists, and then they list the two of the people they've already mentioned. And Triangle, that was something that kind of went right past me. Soloist, another soloist on this. Mikkel I get it. Yeah, okay. Kim Sagild is giving us the little scratchy guitar chordal bits that we're hearing kind of muted throughout this piece, but that hollow body, what sounded like a hollow body Gibson solo, was by Mikkel Nordsø, who subsequently played in Birds of Beauty and played in Anima. Yeah. Anima, early 80s jazz rock band. The leanness of this whole arrangement is that I know that this band had 6 members, so why am I only hearing 4 people? The bass was darting around the flute line, especially toward the end. It was enhancing the angularity of it all. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Like, anyway, yeah. I guess technically all 6 of the members appeared on it. The triangle I would have to listen to for some other time. But yeah, we had one of the guitars just in that instrumental break, and then otherwise it was 2/3 of the band handling what was a pretty just lean arrangement of flute, bass, rhythm guitar, and snare drums, brush snare. Yeah. Anyway, Brazilian Grass, Brazilian spelt with an S. I guess the Z spelling is a English way of spelling it. Anyway. And that term that's a metaphor for isn't that supposed to be anyway, let's hear another track from the album, Mysterious Funk. Funk was me. Okay, and that was an ARP we were just hearing, or a Moog? Smoky vibe of this. Yeah, it's like a seedy back alley vignette of the mid-70s. The way that ARP just soared like that, the way that with that vibrato and just went higher and higher, just piercing like that. A few moments there were a few moments on record that Manfred Mann's Earth Band had like that. But. really foreboding, like half steps, dun dun, really kind of pensive feel that those out. That guitar just smolder with those sustained notes over those like bubbling like bass notes and okay, we had two guitars actually. I believe it was I believe it was Mikkel giving us those like sustained kind of oozing notes, and it was Kim giving us the like more picking underneath, kind of interlocking with the bass and such. Yeah, Mysterious Funk. That track could also be compared to Solipsistic Funk from Return to Forever, off of No Mystery. Yeah, Buki-Yamaz really like the word funk. They've used it in Sophistifunk. Yeah, that's the track I'm thinking of. Yeah, go watch my video on that. Let's see. On this album alone, they have a track called Hot Funk, as well as Mysterious Funk. And on the next album, which I covered last year, they have a track called Big Hunk of Funk. Yeah, Hunk of Funk. Anyway, yeah, let's hear one more track from the album since these are so short. Travel to Paradise. Sounds almost like one of those moments from those softer, more pastoral moments off of Voyage of the Acolyte, Steve Hackett's first solo album. Yeah, Steve Hackett was doing those types of guitar bits right there, like that. Yeah, those multi-fingered classical moves, and with the flute and the mellotron. Yeah, this sounds just like those short interlude numbers that appeared between the more intense numbers on side 1 of Voyage of the Acolyte. I'm thinking of between tracks 1, 3, and 5, there were these 2 interlude tracks. Yeah, and it would be like Steve Hackett and his brother on flute. Yeah, and then with the mellotron, of course. Priestess is what I'm thinking of. That was Travel to Paradise by Buki-Yamaz, and before that, Mysterious Funk, and at the top of the set, Brazilian Grass. Yeah, three of the highlights from their self-titled 1975 debut album, released September that year on Hook Farm. And they would release another album the following year, Segundo, which I've covered on here before with a couple of tracks, and then a live album, and kind of an album under a different name that I don't really think fits the continuity. And then a fourth album, 1979, and the band has ties, of course, to Cox Orange, a later 70s jazz rock band. Dr. Dopo Jam, avant jazz rock band that directly preceded Buki-Yamaz, put out two albums, two great albums, and then came back much later. I don't think with any of these guys in the lineup, though. Some other acts that I've already mentioned on the Danish scene. I think there might even be a link in here to Thor's Hammer. Yeah, one of these guys anyway. But then again, ultimately, the more you dig, it seems like a lot of these Danish bands are only like, if they're not directly connected, they're like once removed. Anyway. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the catalog of Buki-Yamaz, see the directory of albums by Danish artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the three tracks we just heard, the layers, the interplay, the counterpoint, yeah, the soloing, the passages, yeah, what was the best passage and such. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled Trimax most, signing off.